Hi dear students, welcome to Geeta's classes. Now we are going to see the first topic of discrete mathematics, propositional logic. Okay. So first of all, let us see what is proposition. It is also called statements. Either proposition you can say or statements. Okay. Now, what is this? What do you mean by this proposition? See, I'll give you some sentences. Let us see whether it is a statement or not. Okay. Now first let me write Telangana is in India. Right? Now 5 plus 2 is equal to 6. 3 plus 4 is greater than 8. And what is your name? Read this carefully. Now, today is Thursday. It is raining heavily. And x plus y is equal to z. X plus 5 is equal to 12. Like this. See these are all sentences, right? English sentences. Now let us see whether it can be a preposition or not. Telangana is in India. Can you say it is true or false? Yes, we know that it is in India. Therefore, it is true. What about 5 plus 2 is equal to 6? This we know that it is false. It cannot be true, right? 3 plus 4 is 7, greater than 8. Is it true? No, we are certain that it is false. What is your name? For this statement, sentence, can you assign true or false for this statement? No, you cannot assign true or false for this. Read this carefully. Can you assign true or false for this? No, it is not possible. Today is Thursday. Can you assign true or false for this? Of course, you might be thinking that, yeah. Now, no, it is not a preposition. Why? I'll explain. Listen. Today it is Sunday. I am recording this. Okay. So, I will write that it is false. But coming Thursday, if you watch this video, you will be thinking, hey, today is Thursday, no? Why this madam is telling false? It is wrong, no? So, she is wrong. You might be thinking like that, no? Therefore, you cannot assign true or false because it is a variable. This is a variable time. Okay. Statements involving variable time they are not prepositions. It is raining heavily now. So now rain is stopped, right? Yesterday had I recorded this, it was raining heavily, I would have given true. But if I see now false. When you are watching this video, that time also it may be false or true, we don't know, right? These are all variable timings. Okay, these are all variable times. You cannot assign true or false for this because it depends. Depending on outside timings. Timings are varying. So, they are not prepositions. Similarly, x plus y is equal to z. X plus 5 is equal to 12. See, if I assign 7 here, I will make this true. If I assign some other value for x, it will become false, right? But similarly, x plus y plus z. If I assign some proper values for x and y and z, then we can make it true and we can make it false also, depending on the values. These are, therefore, here statements means only the first 3 are prepositions or statements. Okay. Only the first 3 sentences are statements. These are not statements. But these two, if you consider, these can be made a statement by assigning proper values. It can be made prepositions. This we will see in detail in quantifiers depending on the values of x, y, z. For all x, for x is equal to 7, like that. Okay. So we will assign some particular value. For these conditions, it will become true. For this condition, it will become false. Like that we will discuss in quantifiers. Okay. So, and these two, today is Thursday, it is raining heavily and all, it depends on the time variable. Okay. So, time variables, you cannot make it a preposition. But this today's Thursday can be made, if it is fixed, for example, today it is 18th October. So if I am writing 18/10/2020, today is 18/10 or 18/10/2020 is Sunday or is Thursday. If I say like that, then you can know that you are certain. Now we have fixed the timings, right? So this particular date is a Thursday. It means I will say that no, it is false, right? Like this. You can make it accordingly. If it is time is fixed, time variable, if you are giving this, then it should be fixed. Then only we can make it, right? Make it a statement. So what is the statement definition of a statement then? Any sentence for which we can assign true or false, that is called a statement. So a proposition is a declarative sentence. It cannot be a question, it cannot be exclamatory or order, nothing like that. Okay, only declarative sentence. It is a declarative sentence that is either true or false, but not both. You cannot assign both true and false also. Okay, and it is also called a statement. Now we have some general properties, that is PQRS. Generally we call it by the names. In some books they will have capital letters and even small letters can be used. And if the preposition is true, then we assign capital T. If it is false, we assign capital F. Okay. And the logic, area of logic that deals with preposition is called preposition calculus or prepositional logic. Now, negation. These are all connectives. Till now we have seen preposition, no? They are called atomic statements. If it cannot be further divided into statements, then they are called atomic statements. And 2-3 atomic statements can be combined with some connectives. Connectives are like negation and or, all those things are connectives. Okay, let us see one by one. So negation, let P be the preposition. What is a negation? Very simple. I'll write the truth table for this. From this itself you can remember. These are all very simple things. Already people would have studied. So P is T means not P will become false. P is false, not P will become true. Okay. So just opposite of P is not P. Not P, from the name itself you can assign. And how will you write the negation of the sentence? For example, Hyderabad is in Delhi. If you write, this is a false statement, right? But if you want to negate this sentence, then what will you write? Generally, suppose if this is P, what will be our not P? You can say that it is not the case that Hyderabad is in Delhi. Or this is, suppose if you are not able to write the proper sentence, then you can write. But in English, we don't say that it is not the case that Hyderabad is in Delhi. What will you say? Hyderabad is not in Delhi. Right? So this will become true. It is not in Delhi. So it will become true. That is, F should become true. Okay, true should become false. Right? That is the negation. Then P and Q. This is the conjunction. Conjunction means and. Please remember these things. These are all very, very important. Throughout this unit, we are going to use all these connectives. Okay. Conjunction is and. And means if both are true, then only it will become true. So only for TT it is true. Otherwise, it will become false. Okay. If you remember the truth table, then it is very easy to write the statements. Right. Similarly, disjunction is or. Or. If one is true also, it will become true. Only for both false, it will become false. Please remember, for and both are true, it will become true. For false, both are false, then only it will become false. So all the others are true. Next, one more is there. P and Q, exclusive or. Exclusive or, sometimes it is denoted by this plus circle or with a bar. Okay, plus circle or with bar also. This is also called exclusive or. Okay. V is R notation is R. Then when both and if at least one is true, one is false. Okay, true when exactly one P and Q is true and is false otherwise. Here both are true also, it will become false. Only one should be true and other should be false. Only for this combination it will become true. And if both are true also, it is false. That is called exclusive OR. These are all the definitions. Okay, exclusive OR. Then next is conditional statement. Conditional statement, this is very important. Throughout this unit we are going to use this conditional statement also. See, this is the notation P. We have to read this as P conditional Q. Generally we don't call it as P implies. Sometimes in some books they'll mention it as P implies Q, but generally we call it as P conditional Q. Okay, and here what are the combinations, and these are all the different terminologies for P conditional Q. I'll tell you the truth table for that, and this one you can remember. Sometimes they will mention like this: if P then Q, Q unless not Q. These are all P conditional Q, equivalent statements only. If P comma Q, P implies Q, Q when P. A necessary condition for P is Q. That is also, all these things are another versions, other versions of conditional, P conditional Q only. Okay. So only for TF it will become false. Only for this combination it will become false. For all the other statements, other combinations, it will become true. I'll give you one example to remember this. Okay. So consider this statement. See, if I contest for an election, next election is coming, I am going to contest in that, and I am giving the pledge that if I am selected, I am giving the promise that, generally politicians promise no. So like that I am promising, if I am elected, then I will lower taxes. Then I will lower taxes. So people will think that, okay, if this lady is elected, then we need not pay much of tax, so she will lower the taxes. So if I am elected, so first P, there are two sentences. P is I am elected. Q is I will lower taxes, right? I will reduce the taxes. Suppose now P conditional Q. This is our statement is, given statement is now P conditional Q. Okay. Consider the situations. If I am elected and I am lowering the tax. Okay. I am elected and I am reducing. I am elected, then I am happy. Okay. I promise that I will reduce the taxes. I have reduced. So it will become true. Right. And if I am not elected, consider the third and fourth situation. If I am not elected, that means first I am not elected means not P, and here this will become true. Even if I am not elected, I have the influence, I have in the opposite party also, I have the influence to make them reduce the taxes. Then people will think that, okay, this lady is not selected, but still they have lowered the taxes. Okay, you people will not find any fault with me, right? Even if I am not elected, and if I am not elected and if I don't reduce the tax also, you will not be bothered, right? Two conditions. See, I am elected, these two, first two, or I am elected, this I have completed. I am not elected and with my influence I am lowering the taxes, then you will be happy. True, right? Now, if I am not elected and even if I don't lower the taxes, she is not elected, so she did not reduce the tax. You will be happy only. You will not find any fault with me. But if I am elected and if I don't reduce the tax, what will you think? We have elected this lady, but she did not keep up her promise, right? You people will feel that you are cheated. That is the condition, right? I am elected and I did not keep the promise means then you people will feel that you are cheated. Okay, this is the condition. So TF, only for TF it is false. All the other combinations it will become true. I'll give you one more sentence for this to understand. If you get 100%, this is one example. Example 2. if you get 100% on the final, in your final exam, if you get 100%, then you will get an A grade. This is the statement. So you get 100% is our P, and you will get grade A is our Q, right? So what is our P? You get 100%. And Q is you will get an A grade. You will get an A. So if you get 100% and if you are getting A degree, you will be happy, right? And if you don't get 100%, then you will feel that it is our mistake, it is less than 90 and 80 and so on. Depending on that, you will get B, B plus and so on. Okay, so if you don't get 100%, not P, then either you may get grade A depending on the teacher. If she wants to give, then let them give. Okay, you will not feel bad. Even if you don't get also, you will not feel bad. But if you get 100% and if the teacher or the university has not given A, then you will feel that you are cheated. Right? If you get 100% and if you are not given A grade, then you will feel cheated. That is TF is equal to TF will become false. P conditional Q will become false only if for TF condition. All the other cases it will become true. Okay, please remember this. This is a new condition, that's why you might not know, that's why I thought I'll explain these things. Similarly, biconditional. Biconditional means both B should be P conditional Q and Q conditional P. Both should be satisfied. And actually here I'll explain, then we'll write here. See, P conditional Q and Q conditional P. Okay, P conditional Q and Q conditional P. See, P conditional Q means only for this condition, TF, it is false. For all the other combinations, true. Q conditional P means you have to consider T first, then F in this direction. This will become false. All the others will become true. Right? Now, P biconditional Q means this one, P conditional Q and Q conditional P. This is true, false, false and true. Right? So, if both are having the same variables, then it will become true. Otherwise, it is false. Remember like this. Okay. For both, therefore, the biconditional P biconditional Q is true when P and Q have the same truth values, and it is false otherwise. Okay. With this, the basic definitions are over, and next class we will do some problems using these connectives and all those truth tables, which is very, very important. How to form the truth table for big expressions and all, we will see in the next class. Thank you so much for listening.